Hi, happy spring, everybody. I am Paul Chartier. This is Heart of Gold from Lighthouse Ministries. Tay Henderson, the Executive Director, and Melissa Dickey, the Board Member. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for dedicating time to do this.
You're welcome.
I know what Lighthouse Ministries is, and you've done some things in the last couple of years that are significant. Tell people all about Lighthouse Ministries.
Well, I mean, we started in '04, right when my husband passed away, which you've heard the story, you know.
Well, they haven't, so tell the story.
Well, the story is that we were working on a building, getting ready to finish it, to start feeding the homeless and run a recovery program. And my husband was going to take an early retirement from the post office, and he ended up getting advanced liver disease. And long story short, he died on the operating table during a liver transplant in January of '04. And I had never planned on running the Lighthouse ever. And you know, he had everything lined up with his friends and everything, so I thought, you know, they'll do this. They'll just jump in there. And at his funeral, the minister asked who was going to take the mantle, and man, I mean, God just like, it's you, Tay. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have a lifestyle change. So, and I did. I had a lifestyle change. You know, a lot of things happened. You know, I just started out small, you know, just feeding a few days a week, and then added some more days. And then God spoke to me about running a men's program for men in addiction. And we started a men's program, and we're all squeezed in one little building. And, you know, my desire was to expand and you know, spread out and as God leads. And, you know, then we started feeding like every day. And then, you know, it just seems like, you know, we bought the property beside us
Where
a few
you
years
located?
later. Yeah, 180. The first building was 185 Elm Tree Lane. So we had that facility. The guy put up like 4 pieces of property for sale, and so we went and haggled, and you know, and bought that property and tore it down, thinking we were going to build a new facility. Which I wanted a new building because I wanted an office with a window, and because I was in a dungeon. And so we bought the property, tore it down, and just tried so many ways to build a new building. And during this time, God blessed us with a $500,000 anonymous donation, which I thought, woohoo, we're going to get us a building. But what I found out, the sad thing about $500,000, it wasn't enough to build a building. I think I got to build a pole barn. But anyway, long story short, you know, we threw gravel on it, and we made us a nice parking lot, and just, you know, the money that we had, we kept in the bank. So we ended up, a few years ago, the property behind us come up for sale, which I didn't want that building because it needed a lot of work, and I just felt like, you know, I don't know anything about renovation. But anyway, God had a plan there. We ended up buying that building and paying cash for it and renovated it, and almost 2.5 years ago, right before we were moving in this building, because it's hard to run 2 ministries in one facility. I mean, we were on top of each other, but we made it work. And so right before we were finished with that other building, the city came to us, the director of the homeless prevention and intervention, and asked us about serving at night. And I said, yes, because I always knew we were going to add a meal. I just never knew which one. So long story short, we made a deal with them. They gave us some money to help us finish our HVAC, and somebody stepped up that was on my board to be the director of, it's called Dining with Dignity, is our feeding program. And so finally we got all 7 nights covered to be able to feed with different volunteers from churches and civic groups and SAMs and realtor groups and just all over the place. And a really beautiful thing that happened, you know, because I said yes, that we would do it, and we didn't have the food. We didn't have, you know, we're still finishing this building, but I'm like, yes, we'll do it. And so we ended up joining, through God's Pantry, Feeding America, which has turned out to be such a blessing. We pick up from different stores every day, and we're also able to. 2 years ago, I couldn't have gave away a hot dog because we needed it. I mean, any food that came in, we need it. We need all of it, every bit of it. We just have to have it. And it seems like now God is using us to network with other ministries. I don't know, what was it like? Sometime last year, Allison called me and said, "Mom, we just gave away 1,000 pounds of meat." And I just started crying. I'm like, gosh, that is just, don't despise small beginnings. And if you're faithful in the little things, you know, and the food isn't just like we just go get it. There is so much paperwork and regulations and stipulations, and it's a lot, but it's what we're.
That's why you're here. Melissa, how long have you been on the board?
I've been on the board almost a year.
How did you find out about Lighthouse?
Actually, Tay spoke at my church and was in the community, and we had crossed paths through a working relationship. So we just kind of, she has a lot of the same mission that I share in improving people's lives. So we both got together and just kind of been each other's advocate, and I really do think it's amazing what has been able to been done in such a short time with limited funds, and support is great in this community for her.
A year ago you joined, and a lot of times you join something, you don't know what's behind the door, and you're in and you think, A year later, what's your impression of Lighthouse now?
It is just amazing how much service comes out of that facility. And like Tay said, her men's recovery program has been a huge success in the past, and now she's got a partnership with another ministry that's now occupying that space because they've outgrown their space in a neighboring community that I also have a relationship with. So it's really, it's amazing how one small operation can grow into such a large outreach.
If people want to volunteer, and it sounds like you probably need volunteers.
Yeah, we need them.
What phone number and website can they go to volunteer?
The phone number is 859-259-3434 and thelighthouseministries.org. I'm on Facebook too.
When people volunteer, what can they expect? To do a meal a month? What do you want from them?
Well, it's nice to have a commitment, but if they can't, we're cool with that. The biggest commitment is in the evenings where they will come. Usually they have somebody that's a leader, and if their group does not want to prepare the food, we've got that covered. We can have the food ready for them to fix, or they'll have to do a little bit of prep work, fixing, like if they get a snack before to kind of hold them over, because we do minister, we do a devotion, or we preach, or we do something first.
You need volunteers. How many volunteers do you need over the course of a year?
Well, we need at least 10 people
per
meal. So we feed 7 days a week.
20 people a day.
20 volunteers.
Yeah,
that would be great. That's a good number.
Okay.
16 to.
And they can call. You have other needs as well, it sounds. You need food, you need supplies. What else do you need?
Supplies.
Like what kind of supplies?
Well, we don't have a commercial dishwasher or anything, so we do buy a lot of our cleaning supplies and paper products and stuff like that. But we have a wish list on through Amazon, so people can go in there and
where?
To our
Your
website.
Okay.
And they can go to our website, find where we have our wish list, and go in there and just order off. What's on that wish list are the things that we need and use every day.
So someone could go on that website and they could order plates for a year.
Yep. Yep, just have them drop shipped.
How many people does Lighthouse help on an annual basis?
You keep those numbers, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean,
everything's right there.
It's got to be.
Well, I mean, we have at least a couple hundred people come through there every day.
Yeah.
So, and they're not the same ones. People think, what's the same people at night? No, there's different crowds. And in the summer, we get more families. Last summer and the summer before, we had a lot more families that came through there. And, you grow relationships. I mean, we're part of downtown
I know
Lexington.
it. I
I mean,
know.
this is our community.
Melissa, for people that are watching and they may have time to devote to people that really need help, is there a fear that you have of driving downtown and helping people?
No, I really don't have a fear. I'm a native Lexingtonian, and I've grown up here in Lexington, and there's a lot of renovation and activity going on in that neighborhood. Of course, the Lyrics across the street and on the corner. And you've got a neighborhood that's very, very excited right now
vibrant,
about
there's a lot
change.
going on,
Very,
yeah,
very
yeah.
much so. You've got all kinds of fresh fruits and vegetables now being available to the community, and I think there's just having a place to come, and a lot of people come regularly just because they want someone to prepare food for them. They may not have the equipment, the stove, the facilities in order to do that, so they find it as a great place to network with other people.
We want to tell the story, we want to get the word out about volunteers, we want to get the word out about things that you might need. What have we missed? What else you want to cover while we have you?
I'm glad you asked.
And we've got 3 minutes left,
Okay.
so go.
Okay. Well, I believe that, a ministry will get stale if it doesn't change, if there's not change happening. And I feel like the Lord this past year, we're beginning to change, because we did partner with another ministry to do the men's program, which is Revived Lighthouse. Thank you, Lord. And it's a really good partnership. Our people that we're working with, our guys doing classes and stuff, can partner with them and do that, and their guys can come over and help us, which is, it's a win-win situation. But we've changed we've kind of changed our logo, changed our vision statement. Instead of feeding the needy, helping the hurting, directing the lost, it's called Hope Changes Everything. And so our impact on our neighborhood, it's kind of gotten a little rough there last couple of years. So, we need to gear up, be proactive. But one goal that I do have is I want to start a medical respite down. We have 5,000 square feet upstairs, and that is when a homeless person gets out of the hospital, they're still sick, they still need to recuperate. We've got a place to do that. I've gotten okayed through the city and the fire marshal. All I need now is some money. And so anyway, that's exciting for me. When I was praying about what to do with that 5,000 square feet upstairs, when I found out that was a need, it was like, whew, that's it.
Give your website and phone number one more time.
Phone number is 859-259-3434, and it's the lighthouseministries.org, or you can Google Lighthouse Lexington.
Melissa, you're having coffee with your friends. What do you tell them in 2 sentences why they should join your forces and help Tay?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think it comes from a drive of passion, and if you are passionate about helping others and serving others, then there's lots of things you can do at Lighthouse Ministries, and the help would be welcomed.
To face an unimaginable tragedy and not just go away and mourn, which you have a right to do, to take that and embrace what God gave you, that is amazing.
Let your pain be your passion.
And I'm glad you're here.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thank you, Melissa. Nice to meet you. I'm Paul
Nice to
Short
meet
here,
you.
but we'll be right back on Heart of Gold.